Hello, YouTube fam. How y'all doing? It's your Uncle Tim. This is Uncle Tim Rants and Reviews, a channel where I rant and I review. I'm your host, Uncle Tim. Fam, going forward, man, I just want to tell all of y'all, man, you awesome, man. You shine bright, man. You continue to surprise me each and every day, man. Showing love on this channel, man. I just want to make sure I say this. I think a lot of people don't understand when I actually come forward and just tell everybody, just thank you. It means a lot to me, man. When I sit here and just talk to you and vent sometimes, a lot of people are not just judgmental. They just like, hey, Unc, man, try this, try that. Man, sometimes, bro, it's going to be all right. It is what it is, man. And like a lot of people say, boy, that's all you do is talk negative. No, I don't. Remember, the sun casts the biggest shadow. And I know you don't understand that. The sun casts one of the biggest shadows. What that means is the great source of light casts some of the biggest shadows, man. So if you see somebody out there shining bright like the sun, they're giving off a lot of shadow. The shadow. It's a shadow. Bro, look, I said just like this. You need somebody in your life cheerleading you on, pushing you, letting you know, hey man, this is not a move. This is a move. That's a move. You need somebody sometimes to prod you. God will prod you. He will move you in the direction that he wants you in, but he will use people to do it. They'll let you bounce the ideas off of them and they'll let you know if it's a good idea or not. And that's a good thing. Sometimes you are lost and you don't know if an idea is good or not. Yeah, man, I just, you know, I'm gonna quit this job and I don't got no other job to go to. I'm just quitting. Bro, that ain't a good idea. Like you need somebody to really tell you that. Y'all sit there like, man, they should know that. No, sometimes you don't know that. Sometimes when you done had enough of a situation, man, you ready to take a step. And that's the thing that I've been talking about here on this channel. One thing that a lot of people don't understand, this is a collecting channel, yeah. And I think people say, man, you talk about everything from relationships, to flat earth theory, to work and, just life, toys and stuff like that. This is a toy channel. You're a toy tuber. How is it that all of this shit relates? It relates because we all are other things other than just toy collectors, man. We are people. We are people with, man, problems and issues and, looking for validation sometimes, man. And, that's not a bad thing. Dude, sometimes you need people just to push you and say, hey, look, bro, man, that's a sharp outfit you got on today. Dude, look, sometimes you need to bask in the glow of a compliment. I compliment every damn body. Because, man, if you got on some sharp shoes, damn them sharp, man. Nice job. Shake your hand and walk off. Dude, sometimes you need somebody to be like, yeah, man. And when people talking crazy, man, I was on the bus today, man, and this dude just was acting crazy. Man, oh, hell, man. Fuck him, man. Forget all of that, man. You got this. Yeah, man, right. You right. I do got this. You need that sometimes. You need to rev up. You need that testosterone push sometimes in your system. Sometimes you need to get yourself going. Dude, I'm gonna say something. It's a time and a place for everything. But you can't just let your life pass you by. You can't be a doormat for everything. And I'm just being honest, man. If you are thinking that this year is already bad, then that's one thing. But like I said, for last year being what it was, there was a lot of good in it. And for me, the good outweighed the bad in a lot of situations, man. As far as collecting, man, I did find a lot of stuff. As far as personal life, man, it was on the up. Yeah, I did have some bad moments, but man, that's life. You're going to have some bad moments, but you know what? You're going to keep pushing through. You're going to keep trying to find a way to find your niche. If you're looking at trying to move, not just from where you at to a whole nother state, man, you might want to sit back and weigh the pros and cons. Like, man, if I move here, is anybody there with me? What that means is any family members, any friends in the state where I'm at or the city where I'm at? Dude, those are real questions. Sometimes people don't want to move somewhere and be by themselves. And sometimes people just want to move and be alone. You want to get away. Sometimes, a fresh start is good for everybody. This sometimes needs a reset. And this is why I say sometimes if you are in a place where you are in disarray, you need to sit down, turn the TV on, and watch something that doesn't require you to think. Some funny stuff, some crazy stuff, some junk, like some Adam Sandler type of junk. His movies are good. That, or somebody that will make you laugh. That's what you need. You need to laugh and not take yourself too serious sometimes. Sometimes we overthink, and sometimes when we go to sleep, we can't cut our brains off because it's just real life, man. That's the thing that I've been pushing on this channel, man. We all independent people. Sometimes we lash out at one another because we want that life that that person has. Sometimes we don't know how to compliment a person on going through their trials and tribulations and getting to the other side. We think somehow they had a shortcut, and you seen the whole way through that this person had to go through the storm. They had to ride it out. They rode it out for 2.5 years, and you sat there looking at them, and you was like, yeah, he ain't gonna make it. But when you see these people make it and go through, yeah, you have every right to chime it out. Nobody ever thinks about a lot of stuff, man. Nobody ever pays attention to a lot of stuff, man. I keep telling people over and over, think about your life. Think about what you doing in your life. Think about how you living. It's just, to me, the whole world is at a stop, sign, basically waiting to go. A lot of people are still in neutral right now because they're scared to move forward. Dude, you got this. Move forward. Go and go in God, go in faith, go in. Sometimes you got to take that leap, bro. You just can't sit there and just wonder what tomorrow's going to bring, because tomorrow is a whole new thing. Tomorrow is a whole um, way of life, man. I sit here sometimes, man, and it's all I do is just think. I've been thinking so much, man, that it was driving me crazy. But I learned, man, my life is mine. And we sit back sometimes and don't understand that. We sit back and we want other people's lives. You don't know what another person is going through. You look at them and say they got it easy. They got everything that I want and much more. Sometimes, we think that rich people have everything, man, and sometimes they do. Sometimes they have the things that we want, as far as monetary value, materialistic things. But sometimes the integrity is gone, man. Sometimes these people are just shells, man, and they don't see anybody else. I'm looking, everywhere, man, and I'm starting to realize that the world needs to just take a step back. Everybody is taking themselves too serious, and you can't say anything anymore because everybody's so sensitive. You can't even say a word without people losing their damn mind. And the first people who are so sensitive are the ones that usually talk shit and throw all type of, weird, words at you and don't expect you to say nothing back. But sometimes you just got to take it in stride. Sometimes you can't strike everybody down. Sometimes you just got to let it roll off your back. Sometimes I just let stuff go. When people be saying stuff, sometimes I do let it go sometimes, because I'm like, I can't say something to everybody. And that's the thing. We sit here and we won't understand, man. And what I'm trying to push to everybody, man, we're on a precipice here, man. We're about to do something great. I'm talking about as people, as human beings, as collectors, man. My whole thing is, even if you taking 3 steps forward and you taking 2 back, you still took a step forward, man. You got to take solace in the little things, man. Like that 1 step forward out of all of that other stuff, man. You doing what you need to do. Stop letting people hold you back. We're so scared to fail. We so scared to fall. We so scared to be made fun of, man. But we are not understanding. Sometimes you just gotta move, man. You just gotta get it going. Sometimes you just gotta put your feet out and step in faith, man. I don't understand why when you talk about God or anything like that, people get offended, or you don't hear people say anything about God their whole life, but when they're on their deathbed, they sure know how to say Jesus and Lord and all of that stuff. And I'm just sitting here like, Man, play it forward. I hear people talk when they're at funerals talking about, I hate that the only time that we get together is during funerals. Then talk to the person why they still here. A lot of times we don't want to do that because that requires work. That requires us to be somehow responsible for the shit that we do, man. That's the thing. This is why we don't want to reach out and be a part of people's lives. Sometimes it's better to just, when they're gone, make a big statement like, uh, it's just like sometimes people just need you to not be there for they can show out. And that's the thing. A lot of people just want to see you fail. And sometimes, man, you are going to fail. And that's a good thing. It teaches you that, no matter what you do, you can't stop, man. If you want something out of life, you got to keep pushing. I hear so many people, oh, he sold his soul, she sold her soul. No, it's called hard work and dedication. Going forth, man, you got to put that work in. I talk to people and they tell me, man, I got a lot of time on my hands. I'm not doing nothing. I'm sitting at home after I get off work, man. I could be doing something constructive. I said, man, you ever thought about going to school? Uh, Man, that's going to cost. You ever thought about getting a second job, man? Working one job is enough for me, man. My whole thing is, you ever thought about volunteering? You ever thought about doing a work from home type of job? Brother, I throw all these suggestions out. You ever thought about YouTube? You ever thought about reselling? You ever thought about any of this stuff? Bro, my whole thing is I throw suggestions to people, but, people don't want that. People just want to just complain sometimes. And that's okay. But if I offer solutions to your problems that are legitimate solutions, like, man, dude, I got all type of time. I get off of work. A long time ago, this guy was telling me, he said, man, I work from like 7. He said, no, I work like from 6 to 12, 6 hours. And they paid me for 8. So I'm getting paid for 2 additional hours. That's in our contract. And I'm like, damn, like, wow, that's amazing, right? You work 6 hours and getting paid for 8. Okay. And I was just telling him back then, we were young back then. We were young and dumb. But, still at that age, man, I was working one job and working another. Why? Because I understand going forth, man, in order to get anything you want, you got to have money. In order to get an apartment, you got to have money. In order to get a woman, you got to have money. In order to live in this world, you got to have money. You got to pay bills. You got to, do things. You want a cell phone, you got to pay for it. You want a car, you got to pay for it. This is why I say sometimes, man, the ends justifies the means. Ain't nobody being harmed. You out here doing something else because you was just sitting at home at first. You was bored out your mind. Now you out here working. You making more money to go in your pocket. And this is what I talk to people about, man. It ain't about, how bad you thinking about it. Sometimes you got to sit down and you got to pray. You got to talk to God, man. Prayer is key. I know a lot of people think I'm just, oh, he's just so down and out, and that's all he talk about is being depressed. Dude, everybody depressed at a certain point in time. You don't know what people got going on. See, people make it seem like what you going through is the same thing that everybody else is going through, and that's not true. You got people out here got cancer, got all type of stuff, man, and they dealing with stuff. And somebody said, man, ranting is a choice. It's people out here who are homeless, who are hungry, and this and that, and this. And I said, all of that is a choice too. What led you to being homeless? A lot of people got out here, used drugs, became some sort of really hard drinker, whereas people didn't want to, be bothered anymore. People will ride with you, man, until you start stealing from them. You start stealing from people, man, people will let your ass go quick. And I'm just pushing this out here to everybody saying that, look, life is hard, but it's about what you put into it. If you're going to live life on hard mode, you need to understand There's no timeouts, bruh. I came into this realizing there's no timeouts, and you got to keep pushing. You got to grind and shine. You know what? You got to draw attention to yourself. You got to make yourself seem uh, like you capable of doing what you need to do. You know, a lot of people get out here, man, and talk all this nonsense. You know, lie and everything like that. Dude, I don't gotta lie. You know who I am. Shit, people brag on me. I don't brag on my damn self. I don't talk about myself. When you hear somebody hating on you so damn hard, they admire you. They like something about you. It's something about you that they want. Either it's your relationship, your life, or your job, or just who you are as a person. You ever been around people, man, that you talk to and you be like, damn, this dude is pretty cool. Man, everybody like dude. I wonder why. Because dude is just dude. Like I say, have faith. Pray on it. Things will get better. But I want you to understand something. If you are at a point in life and you do not understand what's going on, you got to hit rock bottom sometimes. You got to hit bottom. I mean, sub basement, below basement, you got to hit bottom. And that's when you can start rising again. That's when you start building. Once you hit the ground, once you hit the bottom, where there's no other bottom. You know, when people say you hit rock bottom, that's when you start over. You know, people say, but I don't understand, Unc, how to get back up. You know, you talk about being able to get back up after losing so much. How is that? Having faith, man. I pray every night. I pray over my food. I pray before I go to bed. I pray with my wife. Bro, you know what? The reason I got this stuff here is through God. And I'm not talking about the materialistic stuff. I'm talking about being here to say just what I'm saying. Just being here right now. I'm a true testament that God really loves. And you have second and third chances, bro. You know, sometimes you squander your first chance by doing dumb stuff out here. But you know what? I had great leadership in front of me, man, that helped me not squander opportunities. I was able to see what that person did, and the other person did, and the other person before that did. This is why I tell you, you don't have to go through every life lesson sometimes. Sometimes, you know, you just got to understand it's just what it is. And you got to be okay with that. You got to be okay. You know, like I said, as a whole grown ass man, I know what it's like to be hungry. I know what it's like, you know, not to have a place to call my own, not to have my name on any type of lease or any damn thing. I know what it's like to stay in a car for a while. I knew what it's like. You know, people like, oh man, I can't tell by looking at you. Dude, just because I went through something don't mean I stayed in it. See, that's the thing. People go through shit and they stay in it because they get comfortable with it. Why do you think people stay in horrible relationships? Why do you think people stay at horrible jobs? They done got used to it and they okay with it. I'm not okay with it. I'm not okay being in horrible situations and not being valued. Man, you got to be valued as a person. Everything you do helps your self-esteem. You know, like I said, you got to retake your life. You got to retake your glory. You got to know your calling, man. You know, a lot of us, we don't know our calling. We just sit back and get in life and get on autopilot, man. I'm on autopilot throughout my life. I'm just on coast, man. What you doing? Oh, man, you know, I got the car. You know, I got life on cruise control. Nah, but you got to live every second of your life, man. I hear people that used to tell me they used to go to bed at 5 and 6 in the evening because they work an early job. And it was like, man, if you worked early, like, you know, 4 or 5 in the morning, when you go to bed early, I said, hell no. It's too much of life out there. You forfeiting life going to bed at 5 or 6 in the damn morning. I mean, at night. Shit, it's like that's a waste of life almost, man. You got to do what you got to do, but hell, it is what it is at this point, man. Like I said, don't give up, man. Pray. Let God know you need his help. Leave your burdens at his feet. He'll take care of you. Trust me, he do. He listens. And I think, you know, sometimes we forget. God is love, but he also is pain too, because God teaches you lesson. That ain't nobody else. You going through stuff and you think that's somebody else doing it. No, that's God. He got to teach you a lesson. You got to understand why not to do it again. Real talk. But to later, thank you for watching. Appreciate you.